right, everyone. So, get comfy if you got something to snack on or drink. I'm going to get the opening slideshow going, which is a fun little condensed version of the story, up-ish until this point. You can see events play out. You can see the characters, and the music was composed just for this game. I hope you enjoy it, and then we'll get to role playing. See you on screen soon, everyone. All things in time, time, time. Hi, everybody. Now, y'all are going to see me shortly, but I do want to say hi. And yeah, we're going to get going with this very special, super special edition of Chroma Company. So I have some howdies out there. Let me switch over to our screen. Oh, hi! Here I am, and here you are too. There we go. Now I'm firmly ensconced inside my Dungeon Master cave. Let's get some background music playing. Some nice, gentle... Yeah, there we go. Yes, we do have an exclamation point lurk. Also, oh, Demon Quiller, a random prize goblin appears. What do you do? Apparently you have brought her out in chat. And she pounced. Give him a high five. All right. Okay, so I have some howdies out there, and let's see what's going on. We have Dark Druid Productions, who is going into Lark mode, and a shout out. Dark Druid Productions runs a weekly Vampire the Masquerade game on Saturdays called Prince William by Night, and it's intense and fun. Macabre Derek is doing the art for the show. It's consistent. It really sets the tone, and I would urge you all to stop by. In fact, Raven, can you give Dark Druid Productions another shout out, because it's been a minute? Oh hey, Rhodium. Well, thank you for that. Or thank you, Demon Quiller, for the gift subscription to Rhodey. So welcome. You're very welcome. Hey, we're all in this together, and I'm very happy to give a shout out to a fellow broadcaster and someone who has been a member of our community and has been very generous as well. So I also howdy to Disfemist, Half Demon Dan. You never played D&D and probably won't. You're too much of a solo guy? Well, hey, Dan, I hope that you can sit back and enjoy our story. If you have questions about the mechanics or about the storyline or characters, then please do ask. Because I don't mind answering those, and even if I don't answer them, you might even have some of the crew answer them in chat too. Because this is there is some interactivity in between us as the cast and crew and you all as the fickle gods who watch us toil and struggle in the realm of Mesotopia. So Demon Quiller, howdy. Ravenstar in with the raid as well. Howdy to you. Woden, howdy to you. Let me give a quick shout out to Ravenstar. Hero Dragon joins us and is totally evil. You all saw it in chat. Diadems is here. Howdy to you, Diadems. Fluffy Sheep will be here. Doc Lannister, thank you for the bits. Let's see. Did anyone else come in the meantime? Catching up in chat. Doc, hey, thank you for also gifting a sub. Hey, DJ, good to see you. Howdy to you, too. Oh, and of course, we have a coffee here, and we have a coffee in chat way over there. Okay. So I'm going to sneak into the super secret chat room that we have. And yeah, by the way, well, here I'm gonna get into the chat room just so I can make sure that I'm here when everyone starts trickling in. And then there's a couple other things I want to bring up to you all as the audience, and then we'll have some fun. We'll play some catch up. We'll bring ourselves and you all up to speed in the current events and the things that are going on. And but before I do that, I want to make sure that I'm not muted and that I have the correct audio-video settings, because I don't want to look like a scrub in front of my players. That would be suboptimal. Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
I totally have my voice and video and audio and all that other stuff. Well, I don't know if I sound better. I hope that I do, but for us as players in the Tuesday game here more regularly, but for any of us who use voice channels in the server, we have the highest audio quality now because of the boosters. And it's like 358 or something like that, or whatever the rate is. It's the highest that Discord can offer us. So I hope that we're coming in louder and clearer for you all. Yes, thank you. A heart to all of you who boost the server. How much of a dono to make MORDECAI or MORDECAI in Saloon be at disadvantage all night? Oh my.
No.
I will carry your intent forward. The intensity is up to you, and how much you want to put forward into meddling in the affairs of the men and women of Mesotopia here. So now, obviously,
that's mean.
I'm not going to like rocks fall and kill everyone. With a dono, but certainly complications, hiccups. How do we overcome the current set of circumstances? All of that is fair game, because that's what happens in real life, especially at times like this when you don't want it to happen. It's like Ray Yane on your wedding day. Free ride when you've already paid. That kind of a thing. So...
God damn.
I am so backwards. I just realized I don't have the right light on. Because usually I have the forward one, but I have the back one on.
You're just all over the place today, Darfus.
Tuscan, good evening to you, and thank you for joining us. We're just getting things going, so we're going to have our little bit of table talk and review. By the way, speaking of the characters, you all are welcome to have fun with them here, as we have a lot of BTTV custom emotes that you can use. Although there's a whole other row here that's not showing up, like the Fickle God or Casimir. But if you type in the code that can be seen here momentarily, because obviously I gotta get back to our game. But all of these emotes are available on our Discord for you to look at. And if you have the BTTV extension installed, then you will see them show up in chat. Well, I mean, they'll show up whether you have it or not in the scroll across the way, but you can see them in your browser if you install the BTTV extension. And this will unlock all of these emotes. Now, these ones are custom. These ones are custom for our channel, and they prominently feature a lot of characters and events and such from Tuesday, such as SPORDECAI. You're welcome to ask after SPORDECAI if you want. And then we also have some general ones that you can use that you can find across a lot of other channels. So if something's going on, or I don't know, there's some nice music playing, you can use Guitar Time, especially if you put it in combo, like PopCat and Guitar Time next to each other, so it looks like it's popping along with the jams. But especially because we hit level 3 on Discord, thanks to your all's boosting and support, that means that we can host even more emoji or emotes. And I can still hold 40 here, but I mean, Coffee Cat, I'm sorry to tell you, but I might have to commission some more emotes.
Bro, you know I'm always down.
So yeah, we have to get some good stuff going.
Let's just put it out there. I have made the best one with soapbox.
Yep, that's actually one of the oldest ones, but only one of the most recently uploaded because some things had to happen with BTTV to recognize the file contents and everything. But now we have a soapbox, which is making Daly the happiest boy this side of the Mississippi River.
My window doesn't want to behave. I'm just trying to get it over to where it usually is, and it doesn't want to do it.
Technical difficulties. Wouldn't be a Tuesday without it.
That's right. Hero Dragon, we have Mordecai, piloted by Coffee Cat, and Selene, piloted by Lethality Complex. Now, Lethality won't be joining us until later. He has an exam to take or to finish or something along those lines, and so the ceremony itself will be taking place in the last hour-ish of our roleplay session, which is going to be about 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern time. Until then, we have a lot of stuff to plan and to shore up, because it wasn't even just a plot bomb. It was a carpet or a cluster bomb of plot. Just absolutely filled the minds of all the characters with connections, possibilities, paranoia, that I was making sure to graciously play into as the DM, because that is a part of my job. The Hero Dragon says, "What? Rats in the wedding cake? They gotta find out why." I mean, if you want to put rats in their cake, Hero, it's something that could be possible.
No rats in cake. Rats are friends.
I am going to also, since we're giving shout-outs to fellow broadcasters, and we already mentioned Vampire the Masquerade, let me give a quick shout-out to Coffee Cat Presents. Or
Hello.
Coffee Cat Presents, because Coffee Cat can draw you a lot of nice presents when not playing Vampire on Wednesdays in San Antonio. You can get a caffeine fix.
It's true. It's true. I occasionally do the art streams. I occasionally do the random game streams. Sometimes with Maddie's friend group, we like to hang out and murder each other in Among Us.
Yes.
On occasion. I don't do those very often, but I do Vampire every week for sure, and Storyteller, and I like to make things tragic. So if you like sad stories, come to my channel.
Yeah. We have a Mordecai emote here too, and there's also the sad
The coffee
sad
cry.
Yeah, coffee cry too. So please do stop by and support another member of our community. And just as much as I hope that if you watch us play D&D, whether you're a silent lurker or you are an active fickle god with fickle god favors or with bits or whatnot, I hope that you can also watch other streamers like Coffee present Vampire, because you can sit back and learn the mood of the game and the rules of the game, and you can learn a lot. And Coffee hasn't been running Vampire for like forever, since it's been out. You've been doing this now for 2 years?
2-year anniversary in October.
Yeah.
For San Antonio by Night. Yep.
Miller, oh, hey, Twitch Baby, 9 months. Thank you very much, Miller, and welcome to you. You now have a pitcher of ice cold tea by your name. So you can learn it too. You can step up and run D&D. You can step up and run Vampire. Nope, you're double dipping. You and Macabre Derek each on a screen. Ooh.
Fancy.
I mean, if you want to be our play-by-play reporter, because he might be interested to keep an ear open for what happens. Because Derek was an active player on Tuesdays, and his influence can still be felt to this day in the story.
True.
I think that's
I think
that's
an
putting it lightly, but
understatement.
yeah, it's a very.
You're understating the obvious.
Oh, Kitty Bird. Well, I hope you can soon. It sounded like were you able to weather the storm, or is this an after effect, or is this just your play group moved out of town until things settle down? But I hope that you'll be able to get that chance to do so. All right, and at some point in time, hey, there we go.
Hey,
I
Lamau.
might be getting married, but it's my anniversary.
There we go. They might be getting married, but it's my anniversary. My goodness, a 2-year streak, but 39 overall, Fluffy. That is, much love and hearts to you, man. Thank you. And I will give a shout out as well. I promise at some point in time she'll get to be on Twitch again. But between real life and just me needing to hoard her time and talents to help me with the store and the channel stuff, she's not gotten to. But I'm gonna give a shout out to Dark Wolf anyway.
You're muted, Dark Wolf, by the way.
Oh, I will eventually get back to streaming random RP games and maybe getting my VTuber to work.
And as we've seen, we have Fluffy, who is vaguely familiar with Dungeons and Dragons, though just not running it on Twitch.
It's true. I don't stream, but I do enjoy the game.
It's been a little bit since I've gotten an update. Is your Saturday and/or Sunday group? Are you still going, or are you on a?
We are no longer playing on Sunday. We are now playing on Thursday.
Oh, okay then.
I blame Coffee Cat.
but the adventure continues.
The adventure continues.
Hey, I'm glad that you can pivot and adjust, and I like hearing the snippets anytime that either I hear them here or if you type stuff into one of the conversation channels just to kind of follow along.
Yeah, I like to bring the distilled comedy into the table or into the story, the tabletop tales. But no, we haven't really had a session in like a month. We've missed a lot of time, just people with their life. So
Yep.
But if anything ever happens, I'll let you know. But we should be playing more regularly now that we're on Thursday. It should be a more
It's all Tegan's fault.
more widely acceptable time frame.
It's all
With
Tegan's
fewer
fault.
things coming up.
Yeah. I look forward to it, and I mean even with us on Tuesdays, for as amazingly consistent as we've been over all this time, and just as life has happened all around us, I had to get a little bit of dust off of Roll20 here for us coming back, but I'm happy to do so. And not only are we celebrating a Mordecai and Selene get together, but at some point in time this month was the official anniversary of the start of the campaign. So now with this being the last day of August, there could be no other possible days. This is, and with us having our break because of just things going on, this is going to be the first session of the 4th year of our story. So, wow.
God
That's so
damn.
many years.
That's pretty
It
good.
is. God.
Yeah. So you're averaging 4 levels every year, and
That.
we
No, I didn't take
we
the
are going to
more.
finish. I was poking y'all just trying to get your opinions about Halloween too, because unless for some reason things like super, I don't know. Maybe you go into a super boss rush. Maybe you don't. But I'm presuming we're playing over Halloween. And so that will be something to consider because that's 2 months away. I mean, we're at the start of the first and then there's the end of the
What are you talking
second.
about? We're going to get married and then we're going to face Shunner. That's the plan, right?
Well, let's see. You only have so long to use those mechanics from the ceremony spell. And this is literally the only reason you're getting married is at meta reasons, right?
No.
No emotions, no caring for each other or anything like that. So yeah, we gotta we gotta get while the getting's good here. Otherwise, you're gonna lose the benefits of this ceremony spell.
We got like what, a week?
It's only a week, yeah.
Yeah,
got a
it's a. All right, so
No
you
honeymoon
have an
period.
in-game week. No more downtime. No more nothing. So you got to figure out like time compression or something else. In the meantime, if you want to get more done. But I guess that's as good a prompt as any to get into things, and for us to take a walk down memory lane because it has been a while since we were together, and a lot has been discussed and a lot has been revealed, or at least picked at, or you found a new string to follow. Is there beyond a pending event? I know that Norlai, you wanted to arrange a date with your boyfriend, and Bright, your mind was all aflutter because there's a lot of things going on, and I know you'd really prefer it if the wedding could be held at a more convenient venue than the trade barge that you all had purchased.
It's okay. As long as Norlai provides me with an owl, I'll be fine.
I think
I
that's
can
possible.
produce owls anytime. What are you talking about?
Yeah, so then it's fine. It's no big deal. Make the trip. I mean, who doesn't dream of a romantic wedding on a barge?
Yeah. Just with sky ships powered by the souls of the dead and damned, just screaming overhead and and then, oh look, there's a guy just taking a piss in the river, just right there in front of everyone. Yep, well,
I mean, we can go
Mazel
away
tov,
from
everyone.
the port. You don't have to stay in the port. You can go for a cruise.
Yeah, you can go down river, or I guess it would be upriver. Right, so use the trade barge you have. You spent good gold on it. So anyway, things have been happening. You had found that there's a possibility in, of good and bad happening with the
Many
volcano.
fall in the face of chaos, but not this one.
And
Not today.
that is something to do with Loki, something to do with Grimhilder, something to do with Oiho. Then, of course, the 6 landlords were brought into this too, because there might be something that could be done with the statues, and or just the philosophy of the people. And then, of course, we have your, more than a friend, a mentor, right? Mordecai, your gnomish mentor, who is teaching you tinkering.
Yeah, back when I was a young man.
He had indicated that maybe the system that he had been developing could be used in other ways, and that he himself ended up having a sort of Doc Brown from Back to the Future fall off the toilet and bang your head moment at the monastery. Way over... Boop, boop, boop. Way over here. And by the way, everyone, we are currently here on the map. And also, for any of you joining us, teleporting and other sorts of instantaneous travel does come at a hazard. It's not impossible, but things happen if that occurs. But
It's
that
wibbly
might,
wobbly.
yeah, it's a little wibbly wobbly. That's why the owl might come into play as well. But yeah, so he had spent some time up here and ended up having a bit of a revelation for this concept or substance or fuel source or something that the monks up there called Ki, but he was calling it Kai. And he found a way to harness that, and he has these heavy lifting robot people called Kai burners that have been putting in work. And he himself has made a what's called a jack suit for joint articulated construction Kai burner. Although it was indicated that the C could be swapped into a combat Kai burner instead. So that was dangling out there. There were some other things that were going on too. Let's take a look at the big map. So we have the volcano because there's the pumice. Noralai, your boyfriend got brain slugged, quite possibly by your brother, to leave or deliver a message and or just to manipulate you all into doing what you need to do according to someone else.
It wasn't very nice of him.
The Sky Shatter Leviathan that has been patrolling and protecting the crater over here, presumably where Shonuruth is nestled, is still a problem. However, Bright did have a bit of a breakthrough and found that it does go into Uct, and there's a really big flesh tree, a supersized one, and it seems to connect to it every so often to, I don't know, just refuel or something along those lines. And that was a possible consideration for foiling this thing. And of course, foiling it wouldn't just benefit you all, but you could, if not for yourselves, you could also do it for Selter, who is rolling around in the Repentless somewhere out there, and she would really love for you to take that thing out because she hasn't been able to, and it's been very frustrating. And for a woman who's used to getting what she wants, this has been something she's been denied, and it's making her upsetty, making her angry. Let's see. Operation Welcome Mat, which is gathering up in Aslandia, is preparing to head out. It hasn't done so quite yet, but the timeline is finishing up, and then they're going to go on an expedition to the northeast to actually send Mesotopians into Shadowheart territory to explore it for themselves and to maybe get answers, definitive answers, rather than just the things that have been passed along, heard, planted by the Shadowheart, who still have been coming down this way and normalizing themselves in the wake of all the climactic troubles happening and possibly them coming just to reclaim what they consider to be their native land. I think that was a fairly good synopsis. Speaking of the Shadowheart, I was just about to say Fizban, but that is not your mentor's name. That is the name of someone completely different.
His name is Gaspar.
Gaspar. Gaspar has been working with the Shadowheart in order to acquire parts or knowledge and or influence, as you had an interesting encounter with a merchant. In which case, Bright picked his brain, and he wasn't too happy about that. But he has been working with them, though that was sort of a, it was probably going to happen, and nothing overtly evil has happened because of that. And the Shadowheart haven't necessarily been overtly evil, ? But they are different, and they're bringing their culture with them. Howdy to you, Fixer. Thank you for joining us too. And I saw Ravens out of lurk mode. All right, so that is the state of things, and if I forgot something that you remember, please do bring it up. And if you just outright make something up and throw it out there like I said it, I can't guarantee that I will fall for that. But maybe I will. So, this is your chance.
I'm not planning on being, that guy. But yeah, I would not know the first thing about what to do to plan for all of that. Is the ring that we were getting, the rings we were getting crafted ready?
Yeah. You had requested very simple rings. One had a stone that you already had brought up from the old temple, and the other one just had an etching inside of it. And so that's kind of when the ball, or like the Gordian knot of mystery, was really starting to unravel, because when Noralai's boyfriend named H, does it start with an H?
It was Kieran.
It was what?
Kieran.
Kieran.
Okay. When he came out to deliver the rings and he apologized for getting brain slugged and it was all very embarrassing, he brought out that the paperwork or the map that was left behind that had some weird writings on it. Things were deciphered through, and then all of a sudden, connections were being made, intentions being
the
shown.
volcano's probably going to explode at some point.
Yep.
Which was what we should tackle next, I think. I am both excited and just kind of want to be on our way. The whole thing doesn't need to be fancy at all. It's just to make it official. I did want to see if we could try and find Cypher, though.
Yes.
Because Cypher would be helpful. We haven't heard from him at all.
You know who else we should talk to?
Who?
Your parents.
My parents?
If you're gonna get married, your parents should be at the wedding.
Yeah, they'll probably be bummed out if you don't invite them. Also, if you don't tell them you're alive.
Yes, but at the same time, we could all possibly die tomorrow.
Well, even more reason to invite them to the wedding.
I suppose.
So the good news is we're probably not all dying today.
Well, there's that, yes. Possibly, if we can all help it, or if I could help it. That... You know, I am more nervous about talking to my parents than I am about getting married. You know, because that's a big deal, I think. Right. They'd probably want to meet Selene.
Yeah, probably.
Sure. F it.
That's the spirit.
I'm probably...
Not using the one just yet.
We're probably going to die at some point, so I might as well just kind of rip off the Band-Aid and say, hey, I'm alive. Hey, I'm probably going to die in the near future.
Well, I mean...
You know, if you keep looking at life with a negative output like that, things are going to happen.
Well, I don't plan on it, but we're fighting basically a god.
Yeah, but you keep saying, like, oh, we might die. We don't say that. Just, if you say that, you're going to jinx it, and then it's going to happen. You got to not do it.
I don't want it to happen.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm not planning on dying for another 300 years or so. So,
It's not very long for you.
Well, at the kind of rate that I'm going, that might be sooner for me. I'm already getting
Yeah.
old.
Yeah, you got that little salt and pepper bit going on.
I thought that was from stress.
I don't think that it would accumulate that much, even though I'd only been immortal for a couple of months, from my perspective.
Well, it's been about a year. That's plenty of time for gray hairs.
I'm barely 30.
And?
Yeah, but don't tieflings usually only live to be like 40?
No. We live close to 100, 120
Oh.
even.
It depends on your lifestyle, really.
It all kind of runs together for me, I'm sorry.
If you're lucky, 120. Maybe slightly longer than your average human. And I'm half human.
Yep.
But you're on the short side.
Yeah, I take after my mom. She looks kind of just like me. Poofy blue hair, pale blue skin,
I looked like her for a minute or two. Way back when I was guys.
Aha. Well, sure. I guess we can go try and find my parents. I don't think they're together anymore.
121 high copy,
Yeah, it didn't seem that way.
121 heart matter, big brain.
So, we're looking for 2 different houses then. Maybe they're
Probably.
still in the city.
I don't think so. I think one of them was it your father? I think it was your father had moved out to a farm, I think. That was a while ago.
It seems like a really strange move for him. He's in real estate.
It wasn't a farm. He was definitely not in the city. But he there's a lot of downtime here. So I don't know. You could have checked in on him. Not that Bright is ever known to meddle, but I'll give you this meddling for free. He is actually with Operation Welcome Mat. He is out with that expeditionary force in order to go survey the foreign lands. So he would be up in Aslandia.
Oh.
Okay. Well, so he probably won't be coming then.
Possibly. Damn, it seems like a real kind of dick move to just send a sending and say, hey, I'm getting married.
You're invited, but I don't think you can make it.
Throw an emoji in there. It'll cover that up.
But we can go visit my mom.
Yeah, sure. I think she's still in town. I'm not sure, but she seemed to still be in the town. Like, the one time that we did the scrying on camera, she was in in the house, right? That you lived in, or that she lived in, and she was
Mhm.
like in her bed, and it was, but it was clearly in town. At least it seemed like it.
All right. Then that's where we'll go. I'm sure she'd have advice for weddings anyway.
All right. Yeah. So you can head over that way. I mean, if any of us need to speak through Selene, I'm sure that we can. Between the four of us here, we can come up with some sort of simulacrum for her.
Mm.
I agree with everything Mordecai says unconditionally. Well, wow, Selene, that's really great of you.
No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't.
Red flag. Who are you and what have you done with Selene?
Right.
I want my cantankerous pain in the ass back, not this whatever you are. All right. So, you make your way back through town, with questions that need answers, questions you don't even know that to ask yet, maybe answers for questions you haven't learned, in that sort of weird reversal sort of way. But Mordecai, you know where. Pardon me. Drinking soda, of course. You know where you lived, and she's still there. So, you could drag your feet. You can jog ahead wholeheartedly. You could split the difference and say, "Can we get a sandwich first?"
He's probably dragging his feet a little bit because he's definitely very familiar with this neighborhood because him and Karina grew up in this neighborhood, and she's no longer here, and now he's about to go see his mom for the first time in 10 years, 12 years. It's hard to keep track of time these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About 12.
And he looks a lot older now.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's just like, this is awkward. Does not deal with awkward very well. He's a very likable person, but he's very awkward. So,
All right.
yeah.
Okay, well, on the way there, Norelai or Bright, is there anything in particular you want to say, see, or do?
No, I think I'm just there for moral support.
I brought this up, so this is my idea.
Okay.
I just don't want to get separated from the group right now.
It's almost like Norelai is just dragging Mordecai along.
Yep,
Yeah.
time to see your parents.
Norelai can be pulling Mordecai, and I'll be pushing from behind.
What's a little sister for, anyway?
Yeah.
Little sister and best friend. I can load Mordecai onto the floating disc if we have to. Or maybe pick him up with a smooshing hand. I have lots of options.
You just throughout town, just bound up as.
I can always summon Jerky Snake.
Yeah, bind him up and take him through. Although I don't know, that might get the guards riled. They're not too keen on a bunch of wild animals popping through town.
Yeah.
At least some of the other places weren't. But all right. Well,
Not necessary.
you go through the streets. You see the old places you remember. Many of them are still there, or at least the buildings. Some of the businesses might have changed, and of course, people come and go from the places they live. But there has been a lot of infrastructure converted by or introduced by the Shadowhar that is just being adopted. People are dressing in an interesting fusion where there is that flair that Old Port has been known to have, but different patterns, different considerations, because the populace of Shadowhar and the populace of Mesomasca are very similar, and so it's natural that you're going to get some interesting and clashing fashions. And maybe with the exception of a really strong accent, just looking at many of the people, they're kind of blending together. The line between Shadowhar and in particularly those who live in Oldport is it's getting really blurry. At least out here in the streets for people who don't mind being seen in and among each other. You eventually get to the door to your place. It's not too bad of a. I mean, your parents did pretty well for themselves, and with the time that's passed, apparently that success has continued. Where they would have a very nice place in a rather busy and central location in town. It looks some conversions going in. It looks nice though. And you're standing at the door.
He just kind of stands up straight, breathing in deeply, and then goes to knock on the door.
Okay.
This is your idea, nor a lie.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm gonna stand behind you.
There's the knock. And you hear some clump, clump, clump from behind the door. A door opens, and there's a human with maybe he was doing some chores around the place or working out. Like he's in effectively just like an undershirt and some just like old like an equivalent of jeans, like work pants kind of a thing. Seems to take care of himself, and to an extent, I mean he has your salt and pepper hair, and he has a dark complexion with matching dark eyes, and can I help you?
Is Ruth Silverleaf in?
Yeah, who can I say is calling?
Her son Mordecai.
Mordecai? Well, yeah, hold
Yeah.
on. Ruth! Well, if you're anyone else, I said, yeah. He there's almost a recognition, but then he's looking you up and down because there's something disjointed in his mind. I'd ask you to stand outside a moment, but yeah, why don't you come in? And who's with you?
This is Noralai.
Hi.
She's like my little sister, and Bright. She's my best friend.
Ah, Noralai, Bright. It's nice to meet you. My name is Lucius.
Have we met before, Lucius?
I don't believe that we have.
Okay. And kind of usher people in as he's allowing.
You might have questions. I understand. Don't let it be awkward for you. At least no more than it could be for me as well. And I'm sure we could all be civil about this. You have come to be civil, right?
Oh, yes.
Very
I
civil.
yeah, I have no intentions of making things weird.
All right then.
Not really succeeding in that, but hey.
Uh, I'm yeah, it's just a little weird. Um, she hasn't seen me in 12 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, follow me, I guess is what I'm supposed to say. But
Right.
yeah, let's go up the stairs. And you do just that. Since you have a nice like a multi-level like a townhouse
Mhm.
arrangement, and so you all go up. Mordecai, the house is mostly as you remember it. It hasn't been redecorated too much. Um, there's some new things, and there's obviously signs of some Shadowhar trinkets or just some other little baubles or art pieces, things that she probably got because they interested her. Um, and you hear all kinds of like pots and pans banging around, um, and there's there's a lot of water running as well, hot water at that because there's some steam coming from the kitchen area, and that's probably why she didn't hear the shout from the downstairs door. Ruth. Yeah, Lucky. Guests. Must be a nickname. And so there's a clatter of pans. And then she is uh, wiping her hands off. She seems to there's a bit of a mess going on, and then she looks up as she's about to say something. Yeah, I don't have anything ready for get. Mordecai.
Hi.
And her face like lights up, and she just bounds over towards you, and Mordecai, with her hands outstretched, and just absolutely like you're wrapped in her arms. Her tail is wrapped around you too, and like gives you like a twirl. Uh, I, wow,
Hi.
what a surprise! Please sit down, and your friends or uh, her eyes dart to Norlai and look back at you, and have that kind of like friends or
Friends.
Just friends.
Yeah, friends.
then her eyes kind of go down to Bright. Friends or
Yeah, just. I mean, mostly friends. The ore isn't here. We left her somewhere else.
Right, you spoiled it.
And then well yes, so Selene is here, and
All
then
I said was ore. It was veiled. It was so veiled.
it was veiled, and then she goes to the only other person left, which is Selene.
It was veiled. See? Mm-hmm.
Never change Bright, please. You're absolutely needed in these dark times.
Yes.
But your
Brett and
mother's
Norlife, just friends.
your mother's eyes, which of course, I mean you've grown up with her and you're used to being around other tieflings who don't have pupils, so you can track generally where she's looking. They dart to Selene. Or
Yeah, this is Selene, my fiance.
by the stars. As she goes over to like almost completely forgets about you. Just sort, I mean, you got your hug and everything, but then goes over, and then is giving Selene a very motherly look over, of just kind of eyeing her up and down, checking whatever she needs to check to be satisfied. And well, Selene, it's nice to meet you. I'm Ruth. I'm Mordecai's long lost mother.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the awkward bit. I just kind of took off. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm sure that you are. And I think that there's a lot that can still be apologized for. But I think the same might be able to be said on my part, too. It's been a long time, and, well, life moves on, whether we want it to or not, Mordecai. Do you all want anything to eat? I can go get something. Miss Bright, Mrs. Bright?
Mrs. Fine.
Uh,
Or you can just call me Bright. My marital status is not relevant. Mordecai's is more relevant than mine.
It sounds so. Your people just you drink tea, right?
Yeah, tea's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, we can just do tea.
Hold the bacon.
Oh yeah. Well, yes. Sugar.
Yeah, sugar's good.
Yes.
Okay.
Probably Norelei likes a lot of sugar. That would be my guess.
Yes. This is established.
Lucky, could you? I'm sorry. Lucius, could you go get the tea from the kitchen? I would really like to spend some more time right now in our living room with my son. Of course, of course, Ruth. And he smiles a beaming, bright smile, and goes to. He disappears into the kitchen, and you start hearing some, porcelain and some things clanking around and whatnot. You all are in the living room, actually, which I think we could simulate with. Oh, do I know?
Lucky.
Oh, well, that's my. Whoa, there's a blast from the past. Whatever. This is a nice, comfortable, somewhat posh living room here. We got to switch out the figures for the most part, but you all get the drift. Whatever. Here.
What are you talking about? This is clearly an accurate representation.
This is.
It's a
We're gonna
pretty
play
nice
it where it
living
lies.
room. So you could use this as like a hotel lobby if you needed to.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Lucky is my sort of my pet name for him. Just kind of I keep telling him that he was very lucky to find me. Although I think I was the lucky one to find him, Mordecai.
What happened between you and Dad?
Well, we went our separate ways. You had disappeared, and this isn't blaming you, but the stresses of you just going off, and him with his real estate, and just my own personal decisions. Things just weren't working out with Ezra, and he and I came to a very civil agreement about things. There was nothing, nothing scandalous that would show up in public records. There's nothing that was, bad, but he moved on and he had his business that seemed to keep him going. I think that was a distraction or a focus from. I'm not here to make you guilty, Mordecai. I'm sorry. Just he really focused on the things that he felt he needed to do to make sure that there was money and that you would be taken care of or remembered, depending on what would happen. And as far as I know, he actually had signed up to be a civilian, member of the Operation Welcome Mat.
That's what I've heard.
And don't worry, as far as I know, it's at least as far as he's told, he's not going on the front lines of anything. He's not gonna be up there with a shield and a spear, ready to fight off the wilds. He's back in the supply wagons, and the supply wagons are safe. They're guarded. Meanwhile,
Yeah,
south of
definitely
here-
nothing ever goes wrong with supply wagons.
One would hope, anyway.
Let's hope so. Yeah, so he's going along as a professional, as a consultant. It seems to actually be something that he's not just volunteering out of the goodness of his heart for, but he's going to really be... he'll have a bit of a windfall with various elbows to rub and various accounts that this could lead to for himself, or just maybe with some business up north. That is all the rage now.
Good for him, I guess.
Yes, well... I can't speak for Ezra. I guess that'd be something that you would have to do. All I can tell you is, as far as I know, he's been functioning, he has been healthy, and he has decided to venture forth when the expeditionary force goes out. What I can
They're in
say...
Islandia now, right?
What's that?
They're in Islandia now, right?
Yeah. If he's not there already, he should be at some point there. That's where everyone... There were stations in each of the countries, and from the stations they would draw people in, and then they continue to condense in a trip further north to Islandia.
I guess he won't make it for the wedding then.
Probably not. I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that here I am in town, Mordecai, and, well, Lucius has been very successful as well.
He's
Then,
been good to you.
he's a professional like your father.
But
There's not really a but. He is my so.
so, SO.
She was playing back on the introductions from before.
Aha. Aha. Yeah.
But also SO as in significant other, but
Mm. Right.
Lucius knows that you are, well, are. Thank you for being an R and not a were. You are our son, and he knows that, you know, both your father and I have loved you and missed you greatly. It was probably a shock for him to go down and see you, but I assume he recognized you. Although, Mordecai, I'll have to say that, look, I'm your mother, I can be honest. You look like it's been rough. Your hair, and she takes her fingers through your hair, especially like where it's lightened and whitened. What's happened to you?
It's been a long and rough 12 years. After I took off, I joined up with a traveling entertaining group.
Mm-hmm.
And well, let's just say it was not great.
I'm sorry to hear that. And she's interrupted as there's a clatter of a clatter of various tea things, like, all brought on a tray. And Lucius sets it down. Here, everyone, drinks I'll pour, and let me know how many cubes of sugar you'd like. And he'll serve you all, as things are left on that note for a while. But it's a very nice tea, and you're told that this is actually imported from Shadowheart. And you get a hint, perhaps, as to Lucius's profession, as he can talk about it with great depth. You know, even the region of Shadowheart where this was gathered, and well. Dear, would you like me here for this conversation? And your mom looks to Lucius, looks to you, Mordecai, glances to Selene, but comes back to you. That's
He
your
can stay
call.
if he wants.
Mordecai, thank you. Look, there's a lot that's happened, and I'm sure. Look, we're all adults here. You may be her son, but you're a grown man.
It's a lot to just walk up on the door and announce, "Hey, look, I'm alive."
Yeah.
You know, it's weird.
Well, I believe then a cheers is in order to your health and to your continued longevity, Mordecai.
Here's hoping.
Ting.
Ting, 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 ting.
But yeah, you were about to ask me a question, Mom?
Well, it's a selfish one, Mordecai. If it was bad, does that mean? Does that mean we were worse? What? The running away, I guess. I'm sorry, maybe that was out of line, but her complexion sort of it shifts blueness hues.
No, that wasn't it. Just, I couldn't come back. Because everything here reminds me of Corinna. Even now, even just being here.
Corinna? Lucius asks. Oh, I may have brought her up before, but Corinna was Mordecai's lost love. Oh, I'm sorry for your loss, Mordecai.
Thanks. It shook me that hard. And I don't know, maybe it was the whimsy of a 19-year-old boy. But I was a coward. I couldn't face it. Couldn't deal with it.
Well, Mordecai, you don't look like a coward to me. I mean, look, you've come back. You're ready to share news that you're getting wed to Selene, and are you moving back? There's certainly space for you here.
Actually, we have business.
Oh,
We're not staying long.
oh well. I'm an importer and exporter, and what is it that you do? Maybe we can find a way to work together. I don't want to make it awkward. I realize that I'm not your father, but certainly we both love your mother.
Well, these three ladies and I, and one other, were adventurers. You know, like out of storybooks.
Yep. We also are part-time entertainers, and me and Pride are full-time orphanage runners.
It's true.
And
Also, we're in a band.
yeah,
That's part of the entertaining.
the Chroma Company.
Lucius stutters for a bit as you're like, oh, we're orphan hunters, we're in a band, we're adventurers, and sort of looks over to Ruth.
Yes.
And
Orphan hunters. That's exactly it.
is that what you said? It was orphan hunters?
No,
I said orphanage runners.
Oh, orphanage runners. Well,
but I like orphan hunters. That sounds fun.
well.
Yeah, we've
If
kind of
only
been
we still had Casimir, Ginger's favorite enemy.
Yeah.
Orphans.
orphan.
Your days of living alone on the streets in the rain are over. Fire the warm blanket gun. Just wraps around the orphan and you drag him back to the orphanage.
Yes,
For
that's
a
how we
warm
do
meal.
things.
Well, all right. So you implied orphan hunting, but you manage an orphanage is probably a little bit better than being an orphan hunter.
Yeah.
It's not too late to change the name though from the Chroma Company.
Yeah, we do little odd jobs, and one of the big ones is saving the world.
Ruth looks over to Lucius, and he always had an affinity for the storybooks and had big dreams of being an adventurer and, you know, the knight in shining armor and all that. I remember reading quite a few to you when you were younger, but Mordecai, I mean, you're alive and well, and obviously I wish you success, but if you're in a band, I can't say I've heard of the healing words. Are you? Is this something with them or?
No, that's completely separate, and we're not nearly as big as them. And I'm really the only person who plays an instrument.
Not true. I learned how to play the flute. I've been practicing for a year.
There's that. Bright is more of the
Yeah, I'm more of the producer.
stage setup, all that kind of stuff.
Special effects. Maybe a little mind control here and there. It's just a lot to do, and you know, saving the world's a big job. One person at a time.
Mordecai, you keep saying that, but I understand times are tough, and look, I'm your mom. You don't need to impress me. I love you. You keep saying saving the world, and times are strange. But I mean, what are you? What do you mean? Are you inventing something, or is this just trying to go and spread goodwill like the healing words? I don't understand. What does saving the world mean?
Well, yeah, there's that, but well, it's just awkward. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
So there's this big evil entity that's taking over people and trying to destroy the land, and we're gonna go defeat it because I have superpowers that can actually affect it.
Oh, that's nice, dear.
I'm more of the producer.
Yeah, it's more traveling the world for, lifting spirits in a way. That one person at a time kind of thing.
Hence the orphanage.
Well, wait, the orphanage, and Lucius also looks over too. Do you mean the one by the public square back where that earthquake ruined some buildings?
Yeah, we call it the Cookieville Minimum Security Orphanarium. I guess you've heard of it.
Is that what we call it?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought we were just calling it the orphanarium.
Well, that's the short name.
I didn't even know its name, honestly.
I thought that was a project of Gaspard's.
Oh, he's
we hired him.
involved. Yeah, he's our foreman / architect / engineer /
Well, / your procurer. I've done business with him.
Yeah, he does that too. He's a very good worker. We really like him.
Huh. Oh, a bit of a small world. Oh, I understand. Ruth, they're saving the world. I get how they're saving the world. Right? You're giving kids a home. You're doing business with people.
Yeah, we're trying to rebuild the local economy and take care of the next generation. And also hopefully make sure that the next generation actually has a future.
Oh,
you can interpret that however you like it.
That makes sense. Ruth, and you are concerned. Well, there's confusion / some fluster. Oh well, but you're not staying. Are you moving back? I clearly you're not with the circus anymore.
No, they disbanded.
Yeah.
A couple of years back.
Well, basically, we're going to be going out of town for a while, and we don't know when we'll get back, but hopefully we'll all get back, safe and sound and continue to run the orphanarium.
So you're just in town to get married. Selene, what is it that you do? If any of you want to produce an answer, you can.
What? I'm debating if she would say she's a surgeon, doctor, or that she's a priestess.
She would probably say something along the lines of, well, like they said, we're adventurers.
Selene, you... Something about you... I don't know how to explain it, but there's I don't know if it's a makeup you have, or just a perfume, or I don't know. I can't quite put my finger on it, but there's something about you that just feels... I want to use the correct word. I don't mean this offensively. Something feels, I don't know, just different about you.
Otherworldly, maybe?
Well, if that's the word you want. Your mom's thinking like she wants like she's going like compliment fishing or something, so she wants this really nice superlative. Yes, otherworldly, I suppose is a good way to describe it. Are you... I mean, you look wonderful for all the travels that you've been through. If anything, you'll have to give me some of your secrets here, because, well, my skin isn't as taut as it used to be, and you know, I could certainly maybe I can learn a thing or two from you.
Perhaps it's the half-elf in nature.
Yes, well, believe me, I very much know and can embrace the wonders of, and like her tail will like cross over to where Lucius is sitting and sort of like curl in his hand. The wonders that a pair of very different people can come together and I suppose make the world a better place in that sense too. And she looks very she's batting her eyelashes and everything at you, Mordecai, you know, because you of course are the product of just such a union, just as Selene was in a different way. Well, that really warms my heart. And Lucius gives a an agreement and a little bit of a nod. I don't suppose, Selene, that your parents are in town as well?
Oh, no. No, they're not part of my life.
Oh, did they pass? I think I'm throwing myself for a loop. I don't know if you know about her parents or not. But I don't. So.
I don't know the history, but
Yeah.
I know that Selene has essentially either been disowned or disowned them herself.
Okay. It's canon now, so just roll with it.
That's what lethality said. So.
Oh well.
I haven't
If
spoken
they're
to
not a
them in
part
many
of
years.
yours, then please, Selene, I want you to consider me your mother, and Lucius here, your father as well. And I guess, well, like she says that she earnestly means it, but then she catches herself because she looks at you, and then looks back at Lucky. Well, Mordecai.
In-laws.
Yes.
Yeah, in-laws.
And Lucius, yeah, well, hey, I will, I'll be whoever you need me to be, Mordecai. Selene, And that is extended to you as well. I understand that. Well, here I am with your mother in a relationship here after your father and her had a separation, and if we've moved past the awkwardness, then you know what? I think, just like any good business arrangement, we've met. You've got to look into my eyes. I've got to look into yours. And we can move forward. And if you don't like me, you don't like me. If you do, you do. But just know that I love your mother. And deal with it. No, he doesn't say that. He does not say that. I love your mother, and I intend to be a part of her life for as long as I can.
Well, I'll give you the same spiel that I gave Norali's boyfriend. Said, if you hurt her, we'll have words.
She just gives a little bit of a chuckle, and she flusters a little bit at that like defensiveness over her. As Lucius just sort of, oh, all right, calm down. I promise.
We could be amicable.
Yeah,
I know that.
Lucius is, or actually, in this case, she'd say Lucky because things are a little more comfortable. Lucky has treated me well for years, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. In fact, he's never been more successful than really in the past several years. We're doing well. We're not struggling. We're really not for want of anything, Mordecai. And that's why, if you were moving, you could have your old room back, even if you wanted. Heck, you could even have the third floor to yourself and Selene. Settle down.
Wouldn't that be fun? You could be in your old room. Selene could have the upper bunk.
Yeah.
Be so fun.
Well, I think I only had a single cot or bed in the room. It's not big enough for two people, I don't think.
Well, that's why you'd have bunks.
Ruth, they're adults. They need some privacy. I mean, especially, I presume at some point you're. I'm going to ask it if you're not. You're going to give your mother a grandchild, right?
Well,
I mean, we're gonna have plenty available if you need one.
I honestly don't know if that's possible.
We give them away for free. There's just a brief interview process.
Adoption fee. They get all their shots.
I mean, the orphanage, is. I honestly don't know if Selene and I could ever have kids.
Oh, is she? ...
I
Potentially.
use a minor illusion to put an ellipsis right there in the air.
and Selene just pipes up. Potentially.
Oh, I'm sorry, my dear. How ungracious. You can imagine as a mother, I'm very eager. It's almost a custom among all people to ask after that, and, well, if it happens, it happens. Mordecai, I wish you nothing but happiness in your vigorous pursuit of a child.
And then Selene just kind of grins.
Yeah,
As she would.
just a big, almost like curling up on itself, like almost like a Tim Burton, like big smile, like kind of coming up on the cheeks and everything.
Kind of just passing a glance over at Mordecai. And Mordecai's cheeks just turn bright red.
Giving your tail a tickle, like behind the chair or something. Yep.
Because she would.
Well, well, it seems that we don't have a lot of time. I might be able. When is this ceremony happening? I might be able to get you some gifts or.
In the next couple of days, I think we're looking to kind of do something small, something convenient, and not make a big show out of it.
Oh, sure. Well,
Well, I think we should have your guys' wedding on the trade book. Should be in town tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. Is then finding a priest to officiate is at the last minute is going to be tricky.
Oh. Lucius starts thinking, and your mother actually is a little taken aback. Yes, you've after all this time, you still have your faith, Mordecai. All the hard questions in this meeting.
Well, it's I lost it, and I found it again. So I guess.
Of course, it happens to all of us. We go through the phases. We think that we know better, or one thing or another, and many of us often find ourselves back in the wonderful light of Ouijas.
I don't follow Ouijas.
Oh, well, oh, okay, is this maybe Ogma?
I don't know that they have a name.
That they?
She? I don't know. It's not Ouijas. Ouijas and I have had a falling out. And Selene in the corner just kind of nods.
Mordecai, did you join a cult?
Cult? No.
You're not a cultist, are you?
No. I'm not a cultist.
That's exactly what a cultist would say.
No, it's complicated.
All right, I believe you.
I think the closest thing that I can think of is the six landlords.
Those people? Like, she leaves a very naked and blatant, exasperated those people, like, just hanging in the air in the living room.
I think it's the world.
Lucius looks to you and looks to your mom, who's trying to process this. As you're speaking, he kind of like, Ruth, I've done some trading with them. They're very quaint. They're very simple people. I don't think it's anything to be afraid of. If anything, you probably just need to carve some statues every now and again, or
No.
Do you raise animals? A lot of good people raise animals, Ruth.
These animals and plants
No, that's not really my
and
shtick.
children.
I'm
I do a lot of raising.
more of a healer.
Okay. That's great. The orphans. The orphans need that. If you. I mean, Mordecai, what would happen to you if? I mean, what happens to you if you die?
Probably same as everybody else.
She clutches the pearls a little bit. I mean, or not even you. The orphans. Yeah. If an orphan were to pass, how would they? You have do you have someone from the ossuary come to administer services?
Um, Probably the ossuary does fund some of the building, so of course we would we try not to be overly religious there. We want them to grow up and decide for themselves what they want to believe in. Um, but if they had chosen to believe in Ouija, we would definitely make sure that someone from the ossuary would come and help them out.
And especially, I mean, we haven't had any. I mean, we're still under construction, so we haven't had any orphans that have lost their life yet, and we hope we never do. But if we do, I mean, as Norlai said, we're more cultural followers rather than true believers, if that makes sense. Because, I mean, we all come from different traditions, me especially, so we never really felt comfortable saying this is the religion you have to follow. But given the importance of Ouija specifically in death and the role of that, and how important the the church is here, we would definitely have them involved in funeral rites and performing that with the, in the appropriate way, for sure.
Oh, okay. Well, you said it yourself. You're on a journey of discovery. Certainly, you've been through a lot. You've been exposed to a lot. You've met a lot of interesting people. And she indicates, Bright, Norlai, and Selene. I'm happy that you're here, and I'm sorry if I was taken aback. I suppose that's a sign of my comfort at seeing you in front of me.
It's fine, and I don't necessarily expect you to understand, nor would I try to force something like that on you.
Well, we have a lot of years to still spend together, Mordecai, and
Just hoping.
I'm sure. Yeah, of course. We'll take it day by day.
Yeah, of course.
And Lucius is his businessman senses are tingling that there's definitely there's an air to the room. Is there? Let me pause for a moment. Is there something that I can get for you all to eat, or do you need anything that a comfort of some kind?
No, the tea's great.
You wouldn't happen to have tea biscuits, would you?
Of course, that's what I forgot in my rush. I do have biscuits back in the kitchen.
Mordecai just kind of elbows Norlai in the side a little bit.
What? He asked.
It's a little rude.
He asked, and I answered.
Lucius excuses himself and gets up to go get the biscuits. Can you all... This is Ruth speaking. Can you all pardon me and Mordecai for a moment? I want to talk to him just personally. In fact, Mordecai, why don't we go upstairs?
Okay.
Lucky will take care of the three of you, and you can have chit chat and talk as much as you want with him.
And
Okay.
Mordecai follows his mom upstairs.
Okay. And the three of you are treated to biscuits, and you can talk to Lucius about, I don't know, whatever. He is an importer and exporter. He can talk about business stuff along
Yeah,
those
we'll
lines.
probably talk to him about business things. That'll be the easiest thing to talk about
Real quick.
for me.
as Mordecai is going out, I'm gonna send him a message.
Okay.
Reply to this if you need us to interrupt.
Wait, what was the question? What was it?
Reply to this if you need us to interrupt. And I will just keep it going. Because he shouldn't be more than 100 feet away from me.
No, he won't be.
All right.
Okay. So besides every so often, Norelai is keeping the channel open with kind of a ow,
Bing.
ow. You get little Norelai Discord pings here.
Bing. Let us know.
She
You can
sends an
configure
email.
at any time.
What did you want to talk about?
She goes and she sits down on your bed in your room, and she starts weeping. I'm very sorry, Mordecai. This is all so much right now. I didn't want to be seen just weeping in front of your friend, or not even your friends, your future wife.
I know it's a lot. I'm sorry. It took me a lot to figure out how to work up the courage to even come to the city, much less come to see you. And I can honestly say if it wasn't for the three of them, I wouldn't be here.
I want you to be honest with me, Mordecai. Why did you run away? Why did you leave?
I couldn't.
Go ahead.
I couldn't bear Corinna's death.
And that means you forsook your parents too?
I know. And I'm terribly sorry. Like I said, I was cowardly. I ran because it's the only thing that I could think of. 3 years that Corinna and I had built together. We were going to get married. You and the Moonflowers were planning all sorts of, you're gonna have kids, your grandkids, and houses and businesses, and Corinna and I were gonna move to the capital, and everything fell apart in an instant. She became gravely ill and just took a downward spiral. You remember what I was like at her funeral?
I do. It hurt to watch. And I had hoped, maybe selfishly, that we could comfort you. Because we both saw, your father and I, we both saw how much you were in pain. And you ran away, and I was beside myself with anger and grief and all manner of emotions. I couldn't accept that we not only lost the future that we hoped that you would have for yourself and with her, but we lost you entirely. All of everything, the early mornings, waking up, everything from raising you, and just, it was gone. And it wasn't even an accident that took you. It was a willful escape, and I understand, Mordecai, I'm being very selfish right now, but I think as your mother, I have a right to be selfish. Or at
I
least
don't hold
regarding
that
this.
against you.
And now,
I was an asshole. Because I did that to you. I did that to myself.
I think that's a bit of your father that put that wanderlust in you anyway.
Maybe.
Ezra and I, well, you know the gist of it. We're no longer together, and I have Lucius, and I don't know. I honestly don't care if he's seeing anyone else. But it's just been... I don't know, Mordecai. I've tried to rekindle my faith. I've tried to do a great many things. And it just seems like all I feel is loss and despair. More and more is taken from my life, and even now, while I'm extremely grateful you're here and I got to meet Selene and your friends, that's going to be taken away from me too. But you have your life to live. I have mine. I technically shouldn't even be complaining about the things and the people I have in my life, even before you had come back into it. I don't know how you're going to do it, Mordecai, but if you do save the world, I hope that you can make it a better place.
I'm hoping so too.
And if that means giving kids a home, or charity, or traveling and playing music, at this point, I don't care, because I want you to be happy, even if it's not what I want for myself.
You're not the only one who feels like they've been robbed by Ouijas.
Well, Mordecai, let's... She breathes in, composes herself. Let's not talk about loss and tragedy. There's so much of that going around now. I appreciate your consolation, but I'm your mom. I bore you. I could put up with you. And I went through everything to this point, and I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue further on. But while you're here as well, I did need the moment to just put it out there. But because you're here, she gets up and she stands up off of your bed and beckons you forward. And she leans over to whisper, even though they're behind, everyone else is downstairs behind a closed door. Mordecai, there's your father has... he worked a lot. He wanted to make sure that something was left for you. And in the case of your return, that you would be taken care of. And even though we're not together, he entrusted me that if he would come home, that there would be something for you.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what he meant, but he said that if you looked where you kept your etchings, then you'd find the key for the box that he left you. And in saying that, while she is either doing a very good job pretending not to know or she legitimately doesn't, it seems that your father knew where you were storing your nude etchings. That you would admire the forms of various people. I've left your room as it is. I've not touched it out of, well, hope maybe one day you'd come back, even if you would redecorate it. So whatever your father meant, I'm going to leave that to you. I am going to go back downstairs, and she's making sure her cheeks are dry. I will entertain my future daughter-in-law and your friends, and give you some privacy here.
Before she does, Mordecai just wraps his arms around her.
She gives a oof, but then she, from your embrace, she like pivots from the elbows and wraps her forearms, and then like her tail kind of whoop, goes around you too.
It's good to be home.
You're welcome here. Anytime, Mordecai. In good times or bad, you have me. I want you to realize that Lucius is also on board. He will help take care of you too if you need it. And it's nice. It's nice to have a family again in this time.
It's good to be home. I've missed you.
I've missed you too, Mordecai. But stop it. Let me go. I've already dried my tears and you're squeezing more out of me, and I need to go downstairs and present myself.
Sorry. Sorry, just, yeah. I'll look around the room.
Yep.
See what Dad left.
You, he apparently, I mean, either he's the one who gave you the advice where, like, look, I don't know where you get these etchings. I'm not going to ask questions because, hey, you know, I get it. But, yeah, I mean, in the meantime, too, you could just take a tour of your room. It's very much a time capsule from 12 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You get another ping from Norali. You need help?
No, I'm good. That's what I reply back.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can look over any of the things that you had. It's still there. Any art or whatever that you could put up and your parents wouldn't mind is on the walls. Any little trinkets or memorabilia. Your closet still has clothes left over from 12 years ago.
God, I probably don't fit in those anymore.
Is it that, and also I wore this?
God.
Oh my gosh, it's so out of style.
Right? 12 years old.
I can't believe the stripes were 8 millimeters wider in those days.
But yeah, I go looking for that
Chains
key.
on belt pouches was the fashion at the time?
Wow. Oof.
And why are
Oof.
my jeans like 5 times too big? Gnome code jeans? Oh, you can just swim in these things.
Christ. But yeah, he goes looking for that key.
Okay. Yep. You I mean, whether it's under the mattress or it's behind, something in the wall or, something, wherever the hidey hole is, you do find your stash of cultural of cultural documents, and there is
It's
also
art.
there is also a little there's a little metal key, and it has a number on it. And it is to the bank that your family did business with in town.
Okay. I'm going to stick that in my pouch.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're done here, maybe go visit the bank.
Okay. All right.
Aside from that, there's no real trinkets that he'd want to take with him. He's gonna leave the room as it is.
Okay. Yep. You put your clothes back in the closet. Everything is put back where it was, and
He's done enough hanging on to the past. It's time to move forward.
you light a match. You throw it behind you as you walk, and no. Oh,
No,
okay.
that's
All
rude.
right.
That's rude.
That would be rude. Yes.
I mean, I can always cast a fireball if you need one.
No, that's not necessary.
I could always fail wild magic and accidentally fireball.
But yeah, otherwise the room is left undisturbed.
Okay. Sure. You close your door behind you. And it sounds like there's conversation going on downstairs.
I will rejoin the others.
Okay. It's civil downstairs for those of you in the band. Ruth has asked you to play some music, as she'd like to hear what you've been working on.
I don't have a prop on it. But I have been practicing. I've had a whole year to do a lot of different things.
I'm more of a producer.
I would like to roll performance for my +1.
Sure.
And Selene will pipe up and say, I haven't sang in many years.
Sorry, that was persuading.
Okay.
Did they take the persuasion roll?
What's that?
I don't know, I was joking.
All right, so yeah, you're playing. It's it's a pretty simple song. It'd be one that it's difficult to mess up, but you're showing that you have picked it up. You can very easily move your fingers up and down the flute, and everything's you're not doing master level technique stuff, but it's a very solid performance for this solo flute song you're doing.
Much better with the lights and I also dance while I do it, but I didn't want to be too crazy.
Okay. And what would you like to produce, Bright? Are you producing any effects?
Yes, I do have major image prepared. So I guess I'll just use my major image to do just like a laser light show.
Oh, sure. Wow. Okay.
Something easy. I mean, it's just colored lines. It doesn't really take anything.
Yeah.
I don't have to imagine anything right now because I wasn't expecting a performance, so I wasn't prepared. But I do have major image ready because I thought it might come in handy at the wedding.
And you shoot all kinds of rays anyway from your fingers, so colored colored lights is not a problem. Like,
Yeah, but these are the
colored
kind that don't cause things to catch fire.
that is important.
So they're not the usual kind.
Okay, so Mordecai, when you come downstairs, slightly amended, there's a laser light show. Norlai is dancing and playing the flute. And your mom and Lucius are very much enjoying themselves. In fact, they're dancing to the music, too, in the living room.
Fantastic. I just kind of watch for a moment. And if it's a song that most everybody knows, I'll start singing the lyrics.
Okay, yeah. You can spend however long you want in your house here. You can have a meal with them. This can be. This was in the afternoon because you went in the morning and you only needed a little bit of time. Norlai's boyfriend only needed a little bit of time to get the ring set. So this was, I think, you all had lunch and then you.
Yeah, we had lunch.
Yeah, and then you went back. So you can spend the afternoon or the evening, stay the night if you want. There is room for all of you.
I have a date, so I can't stay. The rest of you can stay.
I need to make a stop anyway on our way out.
And I don't want to be the last one here, so I'll go too.
Yeah. So we're all gonna go. Like when it starts to approach dinner time, because Mordecai doesn't want to impose because they probably don't have enough food prepared, and he doesn't have Hero's Feast prepared today.
Okay.
So yeah, he's not going to impose on them if they're not fully stocked for guests for dinner.
Okay. Before you leave, like your mom is obviously saying goodbyes and nice to meet yous, and everyone's getting a hug by her on the way out. Y'all are getting squished up to Ruth here. Bright, Lucius does come back out, and he hands you a banana, and he says, "Now, there's not a lot of these, and I was able to get my hands on some, and I figured, well, you know what? I think that you could appreciate it more."
Yeah, I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Where did you... do you mind if I ask where you got it?
Well, yeah, I, because I import and export, I was able to get my hands on a couple different bunches of them. It's not by any means an entire barge of bananas, but it was something I figured that I could either just enjoy or I could turn around. And this is a time of celebrating, and well, I want you to know that myself, and I know there's others who feel the loss of Uct deeply, and
thank you. Yeah, I know it's hard to get a whole barge of bananas anymore, or even a bushel. Sometimes you have to settle for a barrel or just a bunch.
Yeah, well, if I could get more, I absolutely would, but it's better in your hands. Take it, enjoy it. Thank you for the show, and I hope then. Is there a theme for your wedding? Do I need to dress up? Do you need anything? Do you need supplies? Do you need decorations?
Since it's been kind of last minute, haven't really done any planning aside from setting it on the barge. I wouldn't even know in the first place to look for things that are appropriate for a wedding, if I'm honest.
Mordecai, I'll tell you what then. Will you let me do the decorating?
Sure. The last time I did something similar, the moonflowers were taking care of all of that. So...
Well, I'll step up, and I will work with Lucky, and we will... You let us know the name of your ship, and we'll make sure it's decorated and things are furnished.
Okay. Sure.
And we will find you an officiant as well.
Somebody who's maybe less associated with Weejass, if at all possible. If not, then, whatever.
I will I will do what I can. But
Okay.
it's your wedding, but I'm your mother. And maybe I can have at least a little say. How about I find someone with an open mind?
Okay.
Okay.
That works. Well, we'll see you then.
Bye, and you know where to find us. And she stays up because she was going to be getting dinner ready for her and Lucius, but Lucius will walk down the steps and escort you outside.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Lucius.
Mordecai, it was a pleasure to meet you as well. I am happy to be a part of this.
Take good care of her, yeah?
Yes. But I don't know, maybe this is something you picked up from someplace, but doesn't sound like the thing you'd say to someone if you're gonna see him again.
I plan to.
Okay, alright.
I plan to see you again.
And I plan to take care of her. I want to make sure that, I mean...
You never know what's gonna happen.
Is there something you gotta tell me, or...
No, it's more along the lines of, we don't know what's gonna happen in the future.
That is completely understandable.
And so, I'm leaving that instruction up in the air, because should I hear otherwise, I will have words with you, sir.
Good. I'd hope that you would. Now, put her there, and he holds his hand out.
Mordecai goes to shake it.
And, like, the contact is made, but he goes up for the full clasp, and he pulls you in, and he gives you, like, that closed fist on the back hug.
And Mordecai just kind of pats him on the back with the other hand.
You give me 2 days. Give me 2 days to get everything ready, and I'll give you a magnificent barge.
Okay. I'll leave it in your capable hands. Because my hands are not capable in that regard.
And Bright, if we need to talk about anything, there's a lot of things that I might be able to get for you for the orphanarium or the cookie factory, the orphan hunter lodge, whatever. It's
For sure. I'll definitely give you a sending. If I mean, you never know. Sometimes we run short of parts, and Gaspard usually finds them, and if he doesn't, sometimes I can make them. But we'll definitely, especially if we need, can you get special Shadowheart parts? Because we've been running short of some of the more hard to find or restricted access components.
We'll have a meeting. I bet I could help you out.
That sounds wonderful. I'd really appreciate that.
All right. Well, you depart. It's the height of
on my way
summer,
back.
so you still have
So-
daylight.
Mordecai and Lorelei, what is it about humans and tieflings that make things so weird whenever you meet new people? in Gnomish, we have an expression called freezing the ice, and that's when you take something that should be totally fine and instead you make it weird, and you do that all the time. What's going on?
If you hadn't noticed, Bright, I am an awkward person.
I thought we were breaking.
I can
I thought it was known.
I can put on an act and be like the most persuasive guy in the room, but you put me in front of people that it's weird.
It sure is. So, with gnomes, we have a way we do things. First is when you meet someone new. If you know you're going, if you have time to prepare, you don't always. You should always bring a gift, and you know how gifts are with gnomes. So,
yeah.
it's like they don't exactly mean the same things that they do to humans. Because, like, the greatest honor you can give as a gnome is to give someone a gift that you have received as a gift, because it's like you're passing along not only the honor that you want to give to them, but also the honor you received, so like it doubles up. And I know among humans, it's kind of the opposite. Like, if you give someone another gift, it's kind of, ew, you shouldn't have done that. But it's not like that with gnomes. So, it doesn't, it's always better for it to be thoughtful, but it doesn't have to be really deeply personal because you don't know that person yet. So what you're doing is you're giving them a gift that symbolizes what you want the relationship to be. So, and it's understood that maybe you get them clothes that don't fit or something, and that's fine because they can always just give them to somebody else. It just always works out. So it's just so much more easygoing, and then there's the tradition of the prank. But you know that gnomes love to play pranks on each other and also on other people. So whenever you meet someone new, the best thing you can do is to, play a harmless prank. And it's always better if the person who's coming, like, to the new location pulls the prank, because, like, they don't have the home field advantage. Like, you could, like, if it's your home, you could have, like, a bucket of water propped on top of the door, and that's too easy. Right? So it's better if you're the one who's just coming in, because it shows not only that you're that you're quick-witted and thinking, but also that you're paying attention and that you care. Because, like, I know humans sometimes get upset if somebody important looks at their watch, for example. It's a whole big thing, and gnomes, we never do that because we always have something to do when we meet someone new. So anyway, that's all. It's easier for us than it is for you, and maybe you could learn something. Okay, that's all.
I mean, I have always been one who's been interested in gnomish culture, Bright. You're always a fountain of knowledge.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't mean to be insulting.
I'm sorry, I made it awkward.
I just think that I don't know. Probably some humans and tieflings wouldn't appreciate if someone came into their house and pranked them, but they should. That's what I think.
Possibly. They might understand it better if they were being pranked by a gnome, but a fellow human or a fellow tiefling, that might not go over nearly as well.
Yeah. Okay, that's all. I said my bit. Maddie can take over again.
No, we're here to learn about gnomish culture and language.
Yes.
Now, what Bright didn't tell you, though, is that there was an adjustment period, because, I mean, when you leave Uct for a while and you're out, like, a gnome would go up and just ask a purely legitimate question of, is that a banana in your pocket, or are you happy to see me? And it's a valid question, but for some reason, people kept taking it really weird. Like, am I going to get a gift, or are you just legitimately happy to see me, like, for me to be in your presence? But I don't know, they kept reading into it or something. I don't know.
What weirdos.
I know, but like everyone, she'd ask hundreds of people, is that a banana in your pocket? Are you happy to see me? Just nothing. I don't know.
Nothing.
A lot of gnomes fall into that trap.
Mordecai is headed off to the bank to go see what's in that.
Yeah. Ooh.
Do you want us to go with you to the bank?
If you want.
Sure, I'll come along.
I got a date. I'm going to vanish.
Okay.
By that I mean I'm going to walk away.
Yep.
Right. Well, I'm probably more welcome at the bank than on the date, so I'll go with Mordecai.
Have fun, Norlai.
Bye.
Send us
Bye.
sending if you need something.
I don't have sending.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, don't get eaten by a brain slug. We are totally checking you for brain slugs when you come back.
It's true. It's true.
A message from 340 feet, though.
If he slugs you, I'm gonna have words with him.
Don't be awkward words.
All right. So Norlai, where are you going for your evening date here?
You don't need to know.
Oh, all right.
Oh.
All right then. I don't need to know.
None of you need to know.
As far as I know, then you're just going on a date. That's fine.
That screams to me that's the scene she does not want to actually have on air.
Who knows?
I am shocked but not offended.
They're gonna get down to
and
the freckle frack.
Norlai, you are a healthy young woman. You do what you got to do.
They're gonna get down to the freckle frack, and that's not TOS.
So, meanwhile, across from a mystery location is everyone else. Mordecai, because of the time that you left, the bank is not open in the evening. You'd have to go in. You'd have to go the next morning or afternoon.
I was hoping to get there in time before they closed.
You know how banks always close, like right when everyone else is getting off of work, so you can't actually go and cash a check.
That's why we weren't staying for dinner.
Oh, I thought you were like staying. Like, is she like? Yeah, I should make dinner because it's that time. You're like, no, we gotta go. Okay,
No.
now we'll say make you get there and there's someone at the door. It looks like they're fiddling around for some keys to lock up the front door. Why don't you do something persuasive? Now, Selene and Bright are presumably here, or did you break off to go alone and do this?
Bright's with me. Celine's
Bright's
probably with me too.
All right, so the three of you roll up, and there's one of the bankers is looking like he's getting ready to close up and is having trouble finding the right key. What do you say or do?
I kind of jaunt up and say, can I have a key to a safe deposit box or something. Can I quickly go and check it?
I don't. I'm getting things closed up here. It's one of these keys.
It'll just take a moment, I promise.
Yeah, go ahead and you can give me a persuasion at disadvantage with what's on the table right now.
Gross. That's a 21.
Wow. Man, Mordecai, you still got it. There you go.
I got it.
Yeah, I just had to,
I'm a likable person. I'm just awkward.
twist your emotions in the time capsule of your room and make things super awkward and, intensely personal for you through the questions your mom asked you. And, there we go. So, 21, that's, you have the key? You have your key anyway? All right.
Yes, I have my key.
All right. These two are gonna have to stay out. If you promise me, you could just go in and out.
I am just gonna open it up and take whatever's inside.
All right. Fine.
I'm making it a withdrawal today.
Hey, it's in your box. You go in and get it, and there you go. All right.
Thank you.
So Bright, you and Selene are left outside with the banker as he's getting the right key. He's tapping his foot kind of eagerly, but that's the extent of any sort of, I don't know, emotion that he's projecting. Are you saying or doing anything while Mordecai is going in there?
No. Unless he talks to me, I'm not gonna bother. I'm happy for this to be awkward.
Okay.
The previous discussion applies only to social occasions. This is a business transaction. It's okay
Right.
if it's awkward.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, he's just tapping his foot and is that's as anxious or embarrassing or awkward as it gets. Let me go to okay. So Mordecai, you go and you find the number that matches the key, and there is a box, and inside the box is are three things. There is a piece of paper. There is a small velvet bag, and then there's a shape that is shifting in a quantum state before you until we observe it and find out what it is.
I am going to pocket the pouch and the letter and check out the amorphous shape.
Okay. I would like you to give me a 1d50 roll, please.
Now we'll find out how a halberd fit in the safe deposit box.
Yeah, it's
It just folds out.
11.
It's a telescoping halberd.
okay. So you the paper is a withdrawal slip for a certain amount of gold that will determine. And inside the velvet bag are some very nice gems that will determine. And then I want you to roll a 1d3. Two. Okay. Okay, I want you to roll 2d100, please.
Okay.
Uh, 35 and a 96. Okay. So the amorphous shape, which clearly has been this the entire time, now that you think back on it, were two things. One is a potion of speed.
Okay.
And there's a little note from your father. It is in his handwriting and signed by him to help carry you to wherever it is that you need to go. And then with the 96, this is an interesting one. This is a... Let me get to it. What is even the alphabet? There we go. So you have well, your dad left you a miniature paint set. You have Nolzur's Marvelous Pigments. I guess he wanted you to paint minis.
All right.
Typically found in I need you to roll a 1d4. 2. All right. So inside a fine wooden box are 2 pots and a brush. These pigments allow you to create 3-dimensional objects by painting them in 2 dimensions. The paint flows from the brush to form the desired object as you concentrate on its image. Each pot of paint is sufficient to cover 1,000 square feet of surface, which lets you create inanimate objects or terrain features such as a door, a pit, flowers, trees, cells, rooms, or weapons that are up to 10,000 cubic feet. It takes 10 minutes to cover 100 square feet. When you complete the painting, the object or terrain feature depicted becomes a real, non-magical object. Thus, painting a door on a wall creates an actual door that can be opened to whatever is beyond. Painting a pit on the floor creates a real pit, and its depth counts against the total area your objects create. Nothing created by the pigments can have a value greater than 25 gold. If you paint an object of greater value, such as a diamond or a pile of gold, the object looks authentic, but close inspection reveals it's made from paste, bone, or some other worthless material. If you paint a form of energy, such as fire or lightning, the energy appears but dissipates as soon as you complete the painting, doing no harm to anything.
It works great if you're being chased by a coyote.
Yeah. So you have a fantasy 3D printer.
Yes. Fantastic. Love it.
And a note that in hopes that you'll find creative endeavors in your life. Also in your father's handwriting and signed by him.
Mm. All right. I'll pocket the gold withdrawal slip, the gems for now, and the other 2 items, and then promptly leave. I can come back for the gold another day.
Okay. Which 2 colors do you want to be in this paint kit?
Blue,
Mm-hmm.
like a light blue, and dark purple.
Oh, all right then. So conveniently enough, these 2 colors you favor are the 2 colors inside your pigment set. So the things you paint with them will be light blue or dark purple as you wish.
Mm.
And obviously, like a door could be purple, and nothing stops it from functioning like that. So
Right.
But yeah, all right. So those are the colors. Your dad was able to afford a rather expensive magical. It's not like my first magic kit, but it does teach magic, and it is a very expensive thing that an artistic person such as yourself. I don't know. That this seems to be pretty. You do pretty well with these sort of personal generated items. You got the instrument. You got this paint set. And we'll see what you do with them.
Mm-hmm.
But yep, I guess when you're ready, we can. If you're not worried about the gems or the gold right now, we can just keep things going story wise, unless you want to know.
We can generate those in like a break or something.
Sure. Okay. So yep, there's redemption. For that, you're definitely gonna have to wait for the bank to be open.
Of course,
But yeah, you can take the gems or leave the gems in the box, and then there's the 2 items: the potion of speed and the magical paint.
All right, I'm emptying the box, taking everything with me.
Got it. Okay. So yep, you come back out after a quick perusal of the instructions for the paint, and you can read what the potion of speed does too. It's not just like a label and that's it. It'll tell you as per the DMG, but just within in character terms, not just mechanical ones.
Right.
And yeah, so Mordecai comes back out. The banker says, "Is that all, sir?"
That's everything. You can close up. I'm sorry to have taken your time.
As soon as you go, that's like the door's already closing with the key inside to turn. Thank you for your business. We hope to see you again. Good day to you all.
Have a nice one.
And he puts the keys back in his pocket, grumbles a bit, and starts trudging off. He must have had a rough day.
Yeah, might have.
I mean, we didn't even rob the bank. I don't know what he's upset about.
You totally could have.
I could have. I could have been a real butthole and told him that I wanted to cash in the receipt for gold, but I didn't want to do that to that poor man today. He was already closing. The brief 5 minutes that I was in there was long enough. But yeah, other than that, we can go get ourselves dinner and Noralize on her date.
Okay.
Yay for Noralize date.
All right then. Norlai, at some point in time, are you returning to the orphanarium?
At some point in time, you're going to see Yori flying back with a letter attached to him.
Oh my. All right. And what does this letter say?
The letter's going to say, "I won't be home tonight. See you tomorrow."
There we go. Right. Yeah. Yuri knows how to get to your office, and a little snake flies in, drops the letter off, and flies back.
Oh,
Oh,
I'll read the letter. I won't read it out loud.
Even
I'll
if there's
put
no
it
one else
away.
here.
I mean, I'm assuming that Mordecai is
Oh.
back yet. I don't know. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's staying somewhere else. I don't know.
Is Mordecai
I'd
staying
go
at the
back.
orphanarium?
yeah, I'll stay at the orphanarium.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll just put it away, and I'll say you probably wouldn't approve. She's your sister, after all, sort of.
Uh-huh. Right?
Yeah.
Selene will probably elbow you and say she's not coming back tonight. Is most likely what that says.
I cannot deny that conclusion.
Well,
She is
very
a
well
teen-
then, Bright.
She has
Mordecai and I aren't coming back tonight either. Come on, Mordecai.
She's an adult. She can do what she wants. I'm not going to stop her, but I still want to make sure she does not slugged when she gets back.
Oh yeah, we're totally checking her for slugs.
That's her personal business, not mine.
Except for the slugs. That's everyone's business.
That's everyone's business.
All right then. As the sun sets on this solstice, the longest day here, so you've had plenty of daylight. It is late, and the sun does eventually set. The orphanarium is quiet, save for the occasional noises of the Kyberners doing some various trundling work overnight. But they're not too loud about it. They try not to be anyway. And morning comes. Do 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 do. Bright, I don't know, you're up. You study your spells for the day.
Yeah, I have a lot of spells to study.
I am doing similar.
Okay. Then you and Selene can redo your spell list as necessary. Do we have a refill?
I don't see him.
No,
I got it on time.
not yet.
Okay.
I mean, he said he'd be here for the last hour, so that's like 15 minutes.
Okay.
So
Then let's do this, everyone. I'm gonna get up and I need to take a personal break here, so we can
Same.
get a snack and a drink. What we'll do, it's 12:45, at least my time. We'll come back at 1, as we should have that remaining hour or so. and we'll see what happens as we resolve things and we plan for this wedding to occur. So y'all get 15 minutes. Get up and do what you got to do. Listen to the fine music, as that is another original piece composed for our game specifically. And if any of you do have any spare bits, or if you want to renew a sub or any of that activity, if you take a look at our break screen, I can show you real quick. If you take a look at the break screen, then you'll notice that cupcake that Bright's holding, and something magical will happen if you do donate or have any sort of that activity. We'll be back in 15 minutes. See you all around.